Any familiar faces and names, thank you for joining us. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Paula from First Class Holidays, and we're going to be joined by, well, we are joined, sorry, by the lovely Tilly from Ontario Tourism. So, hello everybody. Thank you those who've got your cameras on as well. It's lovely to see you all. I hope January's treating you well and you're all surviving. And we're all going to learn some new stuff about this fabulous destination from Tilly. So we are recording the sessions as usual, and they will be shared on our Facebook and on our website, and we will be sharing them with consortia and everything. So your head offices, so any teams that miss anything, it's always good to know. But we will mute you all, and then we will open up questions at the end, or you can pop questions in the chat, and then we will start them all that way too. So I think, and there's a few more people joining now, but no, great to have such a fabulous response already. So I know you're already busy. Well, should we get the ball rolling, Tilly? And I know Charlotte will keep on admitting people if they are joining us. So would you like to share your screen, Tilly? And we can.
I will. Thanks everyone for having me. And I've got a video at the start as well. So hopefully some more people can join during that and they won't miss out on anything too important. But I am going to be talking to you today about the beautiful province of Ontario. So without further ado, I will try and share my screen. Please, everyone, let me know if you're not able to see it. Oh, it's not coming up.
I can't see it yet, Tilly.
Oh, every time I click on it, it just disappears.
Oh, don't worry. I was saying we just tested it a moment ago and it was fine, wasn't it? Right, okay. Are you? And I hope everybody's January's started off quite well. I know some agents have been saying it's been a bit of a slower start, but it's yeah, oh fabulous, Tilly, it's coming through now.
Okay, perfect.
Right,
well, let me know any other technical difficulties. Sorry about that. But yeah, I will just start with this nice video we have, which kind of shows you the diversity of Ontario throughout the seasons. Perfect. So just starting off with the basics, if you didn't already know, Ontario is Canada's second largest province and is home to Canada's capital city of Ottawa, as well as the largest city, Toronto, and also the iconic Niagara Falls. So loads of amazing landmarks there that some people maybe aren't familiar with the fact that they're in Ontario. But Ontario is home to all of these beautiful places. And it comes from the Indigenous word meaning land of shining waters, which is very fitting considering that there are over 250,000 lakes and rivers in Ontario. So it really is the perfect four-season destination. Any time of year that you decide to visit, you're going to see a different side to Ontario, but an equally beautiful one. So the springtime is when you can see all of the beautiful blossoms come out, and there's a couple of really lovely festivals in Ontario as well, including the Tulip Festival, which is a really lovely tradition dating back to the war. And then summer really is the perfect time to explore all of Ontario's beautiful parks and waterways. It's the time for outdoor adventure. getting out onto the lakes with a canoe and really just soaking up the great outdoors. And then the autumn season is, of course, where all of the beautiful fall colours come to life. There really is just nothing more naturally stunning, I think, than seeing these fall colours. In Ontario, all of the provincial parks just sort of come to life with beautiful red and orange and green. And then in the winter, Ontario really does turn into a winter wonderland. In the picture there, you can see that the canal in Ottawa has frozen over, and every year this turns into the world's largest ice skating rink, which is really cool. And not to mention there's loads of lovely Christmas markets throughout all of the towns and cities. So just starting off with the typical circle route in Ontario, we won't have time to cover everything as it's such a large province, but I will just try and cover those points on the map there. So starting with Toronto, Canada's largest city and one of the most multicultural cities in the whole world. So there's really great airlift into Toronto from the UK, and it is a under 8-hour flight from most airports in the UK, and once you get there it is super easy to get yourself to downtown Toronto with the Up Express. And as for Toronto itself, well, as I said, it's a really multicultural city, which you can see within all of its different eclectic neighbourhoods, from the bohemian Kensington Market, where you can find loads of cool eateries and food stops and vintage shops, to Bloor Yorkville, which is where you've got all of your kind of upmarket shops and restaurants, and the Distillery Historic District, which is full of history, and you can do some really cool walking tours there. There is just so much to see and do. In terms of culinary experiences, the Michelin Guide in Toronto keeps on growing since Toronto was awarded Canada's first ever Michelin Guide a couple of years ago. So there are over 100 restaurants and bars on the list in 2024, which is amazing and just goes to show the real culinary talent in Toronto. In terms of other activities, a lovely day trip is to go and visit the Toronto Islands. It's just a short ferry ride away from downtown, with really regular ferry times. And once you get there, you really feel like you're kind of in another world, surrounded by nature, and there's loads of lovely things to do. You can do paddleboarding, you can sit outside and try out some of the food stalls, and lots more. And then Toronto really is a shopping haven. There are just so many, there's just a huge array of different shopping experiences. Probably the most popular is the Eaton Centre, which is the huge shopping mall, home to just about every shop that you can imagine, and some amazing dining options as well. And then we've also got some incredible bucket list experiences like the Edge Walk, which you can see there, which is at the top of the CN Tower, Toronto's probably most famous landmark. And it's a real kind of once in a lifetime experience to recommend to your clients that are kind of looking for something a little bit more adventurous, the thrill seekers out there. Oh, and I think we're missing a slide there, but I'll just talk off the top of my head. But there are some other amazing kind of cultural attractions as well in Toronto. We've got loads of amazing museums and galleries, like the National Gallery of Ontario, and also some great family-friendly attractions too, such as the Ripley's Aquarium and the Hockey Hall of Fame, which is dedicated to the history of ice hockey. And then just an hour and a half down from Toronto is the incredible Niagara Falls, which is one of the top honeymoon destinations in the world. And whilst it's an incredible day trip, there is actually so much to do and some incredible hotels to stay in the area that we think that it's much more worth it to go for a couple of days to Niagara Falls. So of course, the main attraction is the falls itself, but there's a number of different ways that you can view and experience it, whether that is the popular Voyage to the Falls by Niagara City Cruises, which takes you really up close to the falls. There's also Journey Behind the Falls, which kind of gives you a different perspective, but you're really up close to the cascading waterfalls as well. You can take a really cool helicopter tour, which is definitely not for the faint-hearted, but a really cool bucket list experience, and can take you over the falls and the nearby attractions. And a great way to see all of the different attractions around Niagara Falls is with the Niagara Parks Attractions Pass, which gives you access to some of the best attractions and a couple more that I haven't mentioned, such as the newly renovated power station and the tunnel, and also a butterfly conservatory. And there's also Clifton Hill within Niagara Falls, which is definitely worth visiting. Some really cool and crazy attractions there, and it's great for families. And there is also every night the nightly illumination of the falls, so it's definitely worth kind of stopping by in the evening and seeing it all lit up in all its glory. And then just 30 minutes away is the beautiful, picturesque town of Niagara-on-the-Lake, which is often voted as one of the prettiest towns in Canada. And it is really historic. It's got these beautiful boutiques and galleries, just so picturesque, and definitely worth visiting if you're in Niagara Falls or Toronto. There's rich farm-to-table traditions that you can see in all of the different restaurants, and there's some really lovely boutique hotels and country inns as well, such as the Pillar and Post Inn, the Prince of Wales, and Niagara-on-the-Lake is really famous for its wineries. There's over 100 wineries in the Niagara region, with the signature variety of wine being the ice wine. But yeah, definitely if you have people that have a spare afternoon or day, then it's definitely worth suggesting they make a trip to the beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake. And then just under 2 hours from Toronto is Blue Mountain, which is an amazing spot for families, for couples. It's a really great all year round destination. There's just so much to do, so many activities that you can do around here. And it's in a really beautiful part of the province as well. So just some of those activities that you can do. There's treetop trails, scenic caving adventures, cycling trails, hiking. There's a beautiful Scandinave spa, and some other quite unique experiences too, like an apple pie trail, and lots of different festivals in and around the area. And then every winter, it is kind of perfect for winter adventures. You can do skiing and snowboarding here. It's great for beginners, intermediate skiers, and there's a really lovely skating trail that kind of takes you on a cross-country route through the forests, and lots of other experiences that you might not expect to find in Ontario. It's also a really great place to base yourself to explore the rest of the Georgian Bay area, which is known for its rugged shorelines and beautiful clear waters. It's perfect for kayaking, for canoeing, boat tours, and you've also got Sainte Marie among the Hurons here as well, which is packed full of history, and a really great day trip. And then moving on to Muskoka, which is one of the most prestigious regions in Ontario, known for its famous 19th century steamships, which are still there today, and its sort of cottage country lifestyle. There's some really beautiful resorts and inns here, all with amazing kind of lakeside views. There's a thriving arts and culture scene, lots of wineries, bistros, craft breweries, and you've also got some incredible water activities, so stand-up paddleboarding, canoeing, jet skiing, and And then in the winter, some more kind of wintry focused activities, so cross-country skiing, snowmobiling, and even dog sledding. So just so much to do in this beautiful area. And this takes us on to Algonquin Provincial Park, which is just a few hours from both Toronto or Ottawa. So definitely a must visit for any trip to Ontario. And it is Canada's oldest provincial park and probably most famous one as well. And it's absolutely vast with just some incredible pristine wilderness and untouched nature. It's a great place for wildlife spotting as well. You can see moose, wolves, and much, much more. And there are over 2,400 lakes in Algonquin. So again, perfect spot for canoeing, kayaking, and all sorts of other outdoor adventure. In terms of accommodation, there are only a few very rustic spots in Algonquin, but they really do give you that kind of immersive nature feel. And you can even try some camping for a really authentic rustic experience. And then we have Ottawa, which is Canada's capital city, where you can see a really lovely blend of French and English culture. It is really historic. You've got Parliament Hill, which is a really popular tourist spot and really interesting. And then we have lots of year-round festivals here, from Winterlude in the wintertime to the Canadian Tulip Festival that I mentioned earlier, and of course Canada Day, which is a really amazing special celebration in Ottawa every year. There's a really vibrant culinary scene here as well, lots of amazing restaurants, and it's home to the Bywood Market as well, which has got a wide array of eateries and stalls and things to do. It's one of Canada's oldest and largest public markets, so a really cool spot. And a great way to see Ottawa is on a tour, so you can do lots of different ones, from foodie walking tours, craft brewery tours, cycling tour along the canal, hop on, hop off tour, and lots more. It's home to lots of Canada's national museums and galleries. So it really is the spot for kind of history and culture. In some of the museums, you can learn about the Indigenous experiences in Canada, which is really interesting. And we've also got the Rideau Canal, which is, I mentioned earlier, freezes over every winter, and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and goes through the heart of the city. And then we've got some other cool, unique activities, such as The Boat, which is the luxury houseboat rental company, and you don't need any experience or a license, and it's a really lovely way to kind of see the city in a unique way. And then just coming back down towards Toronto, you'll pass through Kingston and the Thousand Islands. So Kingston is really historic as well. It used to be the capital before it got moved to Ottawa, and it's home to lots of great historic landmarks, such as the Fort Henry National Historic Site. It's known for its distinctive limestone architecture, which can be seen across all of its historic buildings. And it's accessible by via rail as well. So if you've got people that are interested in a rail tour of Ontario, then definitely worth stopping off at Kingston. The Thousand Islands is actually made up of much more than 1,000 islands, but really beautiful scenery. One of the best ways to see it all is on a boat cruise or a helicopter tour. So if you're just stopping off for a day, you'll still manage to see as much of the Thousand Islands as possible. There's lovely, charming small towns in the Thousand Islands and lots of great accommodation options too. And then that takes us to Rice Lake, which is a really beautiful area in Ontario, where you can find Peterborough, which is home to the recently renovated and reopened Canadian Canoe Museum. It just opened up last year, and it's where you can learn all about the history and significance of canoes. I believe it's the world's largest store of canoes and kayaks and paddle equipment. So a really interesting place to visit. It's also, the area is home to Elmhurst Resort, which is a really popular accommodation option, very picturesque, and it really gives you that authentic Ontario experience. And not far from Elmhurst Resort is Prince Edward County, which again makes for a lovely day trip. It's a really picturesque area of Ontario and really popular, and known for its sandy shores, its wineries, and its lovely boutique inns and accommodation options. So that, in a nutshell, is kind of some of the highlights of Ontario. Hopefully you all learned something today, but please let me know if you've got any questions at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tilly. That looked amazing. I know
it really does
Ontario's
make
one
you
of
want to go out there, doesn't it?
It does, and I learn something every time, and I love Ontario. I really, really do. My first place that I've ever visited in Canada, and certainly one of the most frequent ones. I actually got engaged in
Amazing.
Ontario 30
Love
years ago,
to hear
and
it.
yeah, still here. He's still in the good book, so well most of the time. So yeah, but we went back a couple of years ago, and fully agree with you what you're saying with regard to it being year round as well, because I love going, especially in the winter time as well. I think what a lot of people don't sometimes consider is that it's such a diverse destination and so reasonable in off season as well. So if you've ever got clients, haven't you, that you know that maybe the budget is a bit stretched or they're looking for something different. I love nothing more than going shopping in and around Toronto.
Oh my gosh, and it's basically kind of New York is a great Christmas destination. Toronto really is Canada's answer to that. It's an amazing place to go in the winter. You've got some beautiful Christmas markets, the Christmas shopping, cool winter adventures outside of the cities, like the snowmobiling and the dog sledding. And yeah, you're right, just so much to do kind of outside of the typical high season.
Definitely there is, and yeah, this just so, I mean, I myself, and that's my colleague Ali, our head of ops, we actually ventured to Ottawa in October, and that was my first time to Ottawa. I saw the theatre there, did the hop on off bus, and we did we did a little funny tiki tour and all sorts. It was amazing. But I was what I loved about it as well, such an accessible and compact capital city. And especially now, of course, Air Canada are back on the direct routes as well.
It's the perfect time to visit.
Yeah, perfect. And Byward Market, oh my, definitely my number one market choice now.
Definitely an experience.
Definitely, especially the gourmet tours and everything. So guys, yeah, you know us, it's all about our expertise. So just like Tilly said, our Canada experts have travelled extensively in Ontario and would love sharing that knowledge with you. You know, be it whichever type of holidays your clients want. This was we were greeting some of our fam guests at the Fairmont in the Fairmont Royal York, and then that's myself and Ali over on our little side trip that we did Ottawa for a 3-night stay after Toronto. So, and great, you know, we are the general sales agent for Via Rail as well. So Ontario is so accessible, and a lot of the major cities certainly buy Via Rail. Kingston as well being one of them, but it's then great as a self-drive option or an escorted tour. We've got the whole works. So and please, even if you've got guests wanting to go out west, it's well worth having Ontario as a stopover, because one, it won't generally cost them any more other than the accommodation, but why not encompass seeing, you know, and getting the most out of their airfare as well. So lots of exciting things that we can literally do. And for you guys, we've always got fam trips and concessions galore as well. So that's our lovely Lynn from our ticketing department as well, with Ali and myself and some of our agents who came on our fabulous big mega fam in 2023 with us. So if you are not fortunate to get on one of the fam trips, we will always give you a concession, irrespective if you've never booked with us before. We will make sure you always do that. So, like we mentioned, it fits well within any itinerary. Our experts love sharing with you all of our expertise. We're guaranteeing you out-of-date range pricing. We've got full price match policy and everything as well, and everything is hand-picked. So we want to make sure your customers are getting the whole first class service, the whole first class experience, irrespective of whichever level of touring they're doing or whatever type of style of holiday that they're actually doing as well. And certainly at the moment we're amazing, getting amazing itineraries coming through all the time. And I've just had somebody come through to me this morning for one with like a Reykjavik stopover on way to Ontario. Well, yeah, of course we can do all of that. But we've got our dedicated Canada team on our Canada email, just canada@fcholidays.com, or you've got our general tailor-made email. We've got our direct dial number straight into the Canada team. And we've also got, fairly new to us, is a WhatsApp number as well. So if you've got a quick question, a quote related, or you've got a quick inquiry, or you maybe just want the price of an upgrade or a stopover, ping it over on our WhatsApp if that is easier for you. If you're not already a member of our First Class Holidays Facebook group, our Agent Insiders, where have you been? You need to join there because we promise we always put things on there first. And then, of course, we've got a number of window offers and different collateral on our website. So your travel agent page, your password is just lowercase agent 2023. And there's quite a lot of window offers incorporating Ontario and some solely just on Ontario as well. So if you want to download any of those or share those on your social, do let us know. We've got lots of different things going on at the moment with loyalty rewarded. So every time you do a quote or a booking, you are earning points behind the scenes with us. And every week we are drawing prize winners to win everything from holidays to wine to you name it. There's a collateral of prizes. So just to let you know as well, anybody doing anything to Ontario this week because of our Ontario training, there are double points up for grabs for Ontario. So we are automatically will put everybody in the draw. So watch this space. We are drawing out all the winners on a Monday regularly at the moment. So does anybody have any questions? Let me have a look. Is there any in our chat while we have got fabulous Tilly on to you? Okay, so let me have. Oh, thank you, Tilly, for popping on there.
Yeah, no worries. That's just if you can't think of a question now, but one pops into mind later, then please do reach out, and we're always here to help.
Oh, fabulous! So let's have a look. Okay, wonderful. Let's see. So, so let's see. So somebody's asking. Lynn's asking her first time off to this area. And she's going to 2 nights in Niagara and 4 in Toronto. So much. Is there anything for agents that I must do before going for some of the attractions? Well, Lynn, if you're not already a Canada specialist, you need to become one. But there is an Ontario specialist program as well, isn't there, or a Toronto one? Is there anything we can do, Tilly, for any agents wanting to go?
Yeah, so we do normally like to offer agents attraction passes if they're in Toronto and Niagara Falls. Both locations have some great attraction passes. So if you or Lynn wanted to reach out to me and the team, we can see if we can sort that for you. If it's not too last minute, then we're normally able to help you out with something.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, Lynn, just drop us an email. Drop us an email on sales@fcholidays.com with your details of your holiday, and then we can always try our best for you. So
have a great trip.
Oh, I know, yeah. So Zoe's asking, is there any info on the Scandia Nordic spas?
Yeah, so I can see you're asking about in the brochures. I'm not sure whether you mean the First Class Holidays brochures or if I can just send you some info. But I'll note down your email address, or maybe if you're able to pop your email address in the chat, and I can reach out to you with some more information.
Oh, thank you. And maybe Tilly share that with us as well. So obviously
Yeah,
if we've got any
sure.
more info on that, that would be great.
Yeah, no problem.
Brilliant. So everybody else is asking thank you. So Lynn's going in fabulous. Matt, I don't think is there any more questions? Does anybody have any at the moment? No? Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in our sales emails as well for any sales support. So if any of you need any brochures or any just general feedback or any help or advice, if any of you are planning on going, just like Lynn's going and anybody else, all we would say to you is please just come on to us for any of your inquiries, and we will price your itinerary and then apply a concession for you as well. As I say, it's a perfect place to go and visit, and it's something that we strongly recommend. You know, there's so much more than to Ontario than just Toronto and Niagara. That obviously they're the main iconic places that everybody thinks of, but there is so much more destinations and ideas, and just like Tilly mentioned, some beautiful resort stays. You know, the Blue Mountains, Elmhurst, Rice Lake, all around there are very, very popular year round. And this is where a lot of the Canadians go on holiday as well. So it's very good to note that this is where a lot of those do recommend their areas. So, yes, and other than that, please keep your inquiries coming. You know, we are number one to Canada. We love sharing our passion and our expertise to Canada with you. So if there's any itineraries at all we can help you with, please give us a call. We're even in January, we are having the fastest call answer rate in the industry, I believe. I think we're 20 seconds or less. So we are
Wow.
amazed at that. We've got, yeah, it's fabulous because we've got such a phenomenal and expanded team working around the clock. They are answering the phones really, really quickly, could do your instant quotes there and then. If you're busy with clients, say you can email them or WhatsApp them, and then they can do lots of lovely ideas and suggestions. And the best thing for us, really, obviously, you know your clients. If you can give us any tips or advice on what type of clients they are, what maybe what their hobbies are, maybe what their likes or even dislikes. And then we'll really personalize an itinerary for you and make you stand out from the crowd. This is where our expertise and our knowledge will come into fruition, and we want to share that and make you look as wonderful as you are. You of course you're all wonderful, but as in, if you don't know the areas as well as we'll do, you know, we will happily pass on the expertise for you. And similarly, you know, any personal recommendations you want, we've practically all been there, so we can give you some of the best times, the best ideas, the best tours. But the brochure gives you a really good idea of some of our most popular, but we've got about another 50,000 hotels and resorts and touring ideas. So do let us know if there's anything else we can do. Oh, well, we really appreciate you all giving up your time today. I am mindful that it is January and I know you're all busy. So I don't think we've got any other questions at the moment. So what we'll do is say the recording of the session for any of you that missed parts of it will be